Hi guys, Air Hunter here, and today I'm going to be doing a review, my first ever requested review from oneleaf. Now the boys over at oneleaf emailed me and kindly asked me if I do a review on this day and night vision setup, and I graciously said yes. Now what we've got here is the oneleaf AI nv100 Plus, and that mounts to the 3-12 by 56 SF rapid fire scope, and I've got to be honest, I like it a lot, and it's very smart indeed. And the reason I say it's smart is because when you take a look at the front of this, it almost looks like a pad. In fact, it looks very similar to a pad, but it's not a pad. And I believe I had the pad 007, but this NV100 I believe is slightly superior to that, and I'm going to say why. When I had the pad, you had an extra mounting bracket in the middle like this, which is included with this, so you can add it to your own scope. But if you buy this in its entirety, which is $499 US or 425 UK pounds, if you buy this, everything I'm going to show you today is in the box. This also comes, and it's if you want to mount it to your own scope, but this particular thing mounts to the scope that comes with it, and that just comes out there. Now when you add this to your own scope on top of the NV100 Plus, it adds extra overall length. And so this is a HW100 carbine, so I believe that you'd be a lot further down the cheek rest. It doesn't leave a lot of room to sit comfortable and to get your eye comfortably over and down the scope into the reticle. And it's good that you've got it, but I prefer this. I much prefer this because there's a little mould out in the ocular end of the scope, and that's where it clicks in, and when it does click, it clicks in solid. It feels lovely. And what I did notice when I had the pad is when you use third-party attachments, they seem very unstable at times, you know, a bit flimsy, a bit like there's wiggle room in them, a little bit of movement, and I'm not a fan of that. I like the fact that when you buy this setup, you buy it and it mounts straight into the scope. It's just solid, thus saving a bit of space on the back end. So let's see what's included. You get a micro SD card which goes in there, and then you get an 18650 battery that goes in there. I would say get a spare battery. You get one included, but in terms of battery life, through the day this thing will last ages, but on a night you would definitely need 2 batteries just to keep you going if you're doing any nighttime hunting. It's definitely advisable. Have 2. That will see you through any hunting session. Will 2 batteries at the very least through the night. Then you get the you get a manual. You get 2 eye reliefs. So you get one there and a slightly longer one there, and they just change with a little Allen key down here. Very easy. You get a data transfer cable which goes in this section here with the micro SD card. It says you can charge it through this, but you need like a 2 amp supply. What I would do, what I'd say guys to be safe is, because I've heard of people blowing these units, try to charge them in the wall. What I would say is just get an 18650 battery charger from Amazon and charge your batteries in that separately, and then just put them in there. Definitely do that. You do get a IR safety cap which covers the front of the bulb, which I never had with a pad. Certainly not on that model. That just screws on nicely there, and that's we'll get back to that in a minute. But you get some Allen keys to set it all up, and you get the lens caps, front and back, flippable lens caps, and they're pretty good. They do shut really nice. They're not, you know, sometimes when you see the cheap ones and they feel really flimsy, like they're gonna flip open. These seem to shut really nice. That's what's included in the box. And all of that there, what you get there, and this setup, like I say, 500 quid. I wish I'd known about this a bit sooner, because I think if you're just getting into hunting and you're on, I wouldn't say a budget because it's not cheap, but if you're on a, you know, if you're watching the pennies and you want to get set up and you really fancy doing some nighttime hunting, or you just want to record your footage, definitely get one of these, because it's a good scope. It's a 30mm tube with a 56 observable at the front, so that's going to bang in a lot of light and make for a really clear picture, which we'll see later on in the footage. I'm going to do some day footage for you and some night footage for you, and you'll see exactly exactly what it looks like basically. Now the features of this particular NV100 and the scope are as listed. You've got a day and a night mode, obviously. You've got a built-in microphone so you can, you know, hear the sound of your shots, or if you need to do any talking over videos. Power standby, you definitely use the power standby. That will add great length to your battery basically. You just, there's a power button on the front, you just tap that once and that'll put it into standby mode. If you just sat squat and you don't want to use your battery up, just constantly looking down the scope, just tap it once and then tap it again, it'll come back on exactly where it were before. And then you've got a menu playback, so you can watch your videos back within the menu. Digital zoom on top of obviously your scope zoom. What I would say is probably out to about 40-50 yards, that digital zoom on top, you'll only need the scope for 40-50 yards, but once you start zooming in digitally through that onto your scope, the further you go, the more you zoom in, you will lose a little bit of clarity in the picture. That's just every digital scope will do that. But if you just leave that on normal and just use your zoom on your 3-12 on your scope itself, that'll suffice absolutely fine. You've also got a parallax focus on the side, illuminated reticle, your adjustable turrets here, and obviously you've got the 3-12 zoom there. You've got slow motion recording. Now that's good. I really like that, slow motion recording. We all like a slow-mo shot. That's good. It's got an auto save and record mode. That's also good, because if you can select that, and then if you forget, sometimes you take a shot, and I've done it personally myself, you've got to take a shot, it's a brilliant shot and you haven't pressed record, nightmare. It's a real foot stamper or hand stamper is that one. You've got 6 levels of IR illumination. So on your IR button, you just hold that down, that'll put you into nighttime mode, and then you tap the button and cycle through 1 to 6 of how many levels of brightness you want of your IR. You can use this stretch focus on the IR. That will give you some narrow focus on your IR and then widen it out at shorter distances. So that's really good too. I think that's everything. The menu itself is self-explanatory. It's very easy. Once you go in and tap menu, it's all there for you. You've got 4 cursor buttons and an OK in the middle. You use the cursor buttons to go left, right, up, down through your menu, and every time you land on whatever you want to land on, you press OK and then use the cursor buttons again to adjust, and then just to come back out of it, you just keep tapping menu again, and that'll take you back out to its original its original format where you're just looking down the scope. You've got some focus under here and obviously an ocular focus there too. Everything you need to just get out there and start shooting, really everything you need. And if you don't want to spend, you know, tons and tons of money, but you want the whole thing set up rather than adding third-party attachments, just go buy this. It's brilliant. For 500 quid you get the whole thing. And obviously your SD card, it's a micro SD, so you can just shove that in your phone or your computer and download all your footage that way. So I think the only real thing, I'll leave the link in the description so you can purchase it if you like, guys. You can take a look at it, but links in description. And I think the only real other thing now is to just get some footage really of day and night, so I'll get that for you. Hope you've enjoyed it. Please do like and subscribe guys, and leave a comment. All the feedback really does help, because it lets me know what you want in future videos. But if you do like what I do and you do like my footage, and I really want to grow this channel, so please help me out, like and subscribe, leave a comment. I really do appreciate it. So I'll put the footage in now, and hope you enjoy. Take care. Perfect.